There is one British writer who understands Obama. Only one. He calls himself a polemical commentator. And being that I'm a polemical commentator, I related to Gerald Warner's article on Barack Obama inauguration. This emperor has no clothes. It will all end in tears. It's fabulous. It's on the bottom of michaelsavage.com for those of you who don't want to go to the original source. I'm going to paraphrase and read parts of it for you. From the polemical commentator Gerald Warner in England, he says, the emperor has no clothes. It will all end in tears. He says, the Obama hysteria is not merely embarrassing to witness. It is itself contributory to the scale of the disaster that is coming. We are experiencing in the deepening days of a global depression. What we are experiencing is the desperate suspension of disbelief by people of intelligence in a pathetic effort to hypnotize themselves into the delusion that it will be all right on the night. It will not be all right. He says, we have been here before. In the spring of 1997, when a charismatic young prime minister entered Downing Street, cheered by children bussed in for the occasion, waving plastic Union Jacks, a very few of us at that time incurred searing reproaches for denouncing the great charlatan, as I have always denominated Tony Blair, and dissenting from the public hysteria. Notice the word dissent. He knows what the word means. That's why I called myself yesterday Dr. Dissent, because I know what it means. I am the only dissenter in the American media right now, but I will not be the last. I am perhaps the first, but as usual, I will not be the last. I am telling you what we're in for. He said very few people denounced the great charlatan at that time. Then he says 3 times a deluded Britain elected that transparent fraud. And he goes on and he says, the burnt child, contrary to conventional wisdom, does not fear the fire. After the Blair experience, there is no excuse for anybody in Britain falling for Obama. Yet today in this country, even some of those who remain sane during the emotional spasm of the Diana aberration are pumping the air for Princess Barack. Princess Barack. I wonder what he means by that. At a time of gross economic and geopolitical instability throughout the Western world, this is beyond irresponsibility. To anyone who kept his head, the string of Christmas cracker mottos booming through the public address system on Washington's National Mall can only excite skepticism. It is crucial to recall the reality that lies behind the rhetoric. Denouncing, quote, those who seek to advance their aims by inducing terror and slaughtering innocents, close quote, comes ill from a man whose flagship legislation, the Freedom of Choice Act, will impose abortion, including partial birth abortion, on every state in the Union. It seems the era of hope is to be inaugurated with the slaughter of the innocents. Obama's America Recovery and Reinvestment Plan is like one of those toxic packages traded by bankers. It camouflages many unaffordable gifts to his client state. With a federal deficit already at 1.2 trillion, Obama wants to squander $825 billion, on creating 600,000 more government jobs and a further 459,000 in green energy, useless wind turbines, and other Heath Robinson contraptions favored by Beltway environmentalists. It is frightening to think there is a real possibility that the entire world economy could go into complete meltdown and famine kill millions. Yet Western and British commentators are cocooned in a warm comfort zone of infatuation with America's answer to Neil Kinnock. We should be long past applauding politicians of any hue. You hear this? We should be long past applauding politicians of any hue. They got us into this mess. The best deserve a probationary opportunity to prove themselves. The worst should be in jail. It is questionable whether the present political system can survive the coming crisis. Whatever the solution, teenage swooning sentimentally over a celebrity cult has no part in it. The most powerful nation on earth is confronting its worst economic crisis under the leadership of its most extremely liberal politician who has virtually no experience of federal politics. This is not an opportunity but a catastrophe. These are frank, even ungracious words. They have the one merit that, unlike almost everything else written today about Obama, they will not require to be eaten in the future. That's from Gerald Warner. This emperor has no clothes. It will all end in tears. It's up on michaelsavage.com. 1-800-449-8255 is the phone number. michaelsavage.com is the website. And from yesterday, I think it is worthy and very important that we play the racist comments of Robert Reich, the distorted little man who was an economic advisor to Obama, who has been living beneath the floorboards of the political system for these many years that Bush was in power, and, of course, crawled out like a cockroach from the wet floorboards to say the following yesterday. Listen.
I am concerned, as I'm sure many of you are, that these jobs not simply go to high-skilled people who are already professionals or to white male construction workers.
Now, why is it that I'm the only radio show in America playing this, showing you the racist nature of white liberals who are part and parcel of the Obama machine? Why is it that I'm the only one doing this? Did you hear it anywhere else before I played it? I doubt it. But the bigger issue is the bigger issue, and the bigger issue is the bigger issue. The bigger issue is Bye Bye Love, which I like to hear on the way out the door in this opening on the Savage Nation. This is the Savage Nation. It is Friday. It is Open Mic to Mike Friday. You can call on The Hatred for White Males by Robert Reich, The Total Inexperience of Barack Hussein Obama, The Worship of the Hypnotized in the American middle stream media, the Christmas cracker mottos that Obama tried to pass off as a speech. Didn't I tell you it was a nothing speech? Okay, stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Everyone knows it's JFK. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, FDR. Can you say one thing? Can you remember one thing that B.O. has said? I'll be right back.
Savage.